So, in the world of West African diplomacy, something pretty surprising just happened. Ivory Coast reached out to Burkina Faso. But here's the big question. Is this a real attempt to fix a totally broken relationship? Or is it just a political gamble that could backfire big time? Let's get into it. Right, so this surprise peace mission really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Are we seeing a real change of heart here between two neighbors who have been, frankly, at each other's throats? Or is this all just for show? Trying to paper over cracks that are so deep, no amount of talk can actually fix them.
Okay, so this whole thing kicks off in early December 2025. And seriously, nobody saw this coming. Ivory Coast suddenly sends this high-level group to Ouagadougou with one mission. And it was an urgent one. Fix a relationship that was, well, on the verge of completely falling apart.
And you've got to understand, this wasn't some minor disagreement. We're talking about a situation that analysts were calling an all-time low. The hostility between the two leaders was off the charts, like it had hit a boiling point. And then, this sudden olive branch appears. So, to really get why this meeting is such a big deal, you have to look at the backstory. And let me tell you, the lead up to these talks wasn't just tense, it was, frankly, pretty dirty. Yeah, dirty is the word. Just listen to this quote from our source material. It was dirtier than that. I'm telling you the truth. It was dirtier. I mean, that really paints a picture, right? This went way beyond normal politics. We're talking public insults being thrown around, especially aimed right at Burkina Faso's leadership. And this political drama wasn't just happening at the top, it was having a huge impact on regular people. I mean, imagine this, a climate of fear where citizens from either country were reportedly getting arrested, mistaken for spies, just for crossing the border. Simple things like travel for work or family became incredibly dangerous. It literally turned neighbors into enemies in each other's eyes.
Okay, so let's get into the meeting itself. Who was actually in the room? And what was officially on the table for discussion?
What's really interesting is just how fast this all went down. You can see it on the timeline. It was this super quick 3-day visit. The Ivorian delegation shows up on Friday, the big meeting happens on Saturday, and they're gone by Sunday. That definitely signals a sense of urgency. Now, this is one of those little details that tells you a lot in the world of diplomacy. Check out who they sent. Ivory Coast sent their minister delegate, Adama Doumbia, not their top foreign minister. And who does he meet with? Burkina Faso's full Minister of Foreign Affairs. It's a subtle difference, but it's the kind of thing that makes you go, It's a slight imbalance that people who follow this stuff noticed right away.
Officially, though, the agenda looked great, really positive, really ambitious. It was all about hitting the reset button. Rebuild trust? Check. Clear up misunderstandings? Check. Normalize relations? Check. And the big one, boost cooperation on security. All good stuff on paper.
But, and this is a huge but, this is where we get to the real sticking point. Because underneath all that nice diplomatic language is this massive, massive problem, a core allegation that could torpedo the whole thing. And it all boils down to this one simple question, really. How can you possibly work together on security when one side is convinced the other is secretly helping the enemy? I mean, think about it. That question just hangs over this entire peace effort. And here it is, the central contradiction. It's a total paradox. On one side, you have Burkina Faso saying, hey, we need your help to fight these militant groups. And on the other, you have this widespread allegation from across the Sahel that Ivory Coast is actually giving those exact same groups a place to hide out, what they call backup bases. Yeah, these militant groups are being called stateless people. And the allegation is absolutely explosive. The claim is that Ivory Coast has basically made a deal with them, a non-aggression pact. Like, you can stay here in our territory, just don't cause any trouble inside Ivory Coast. It's an incredibly risky strategy, one that has gone horribly wrong for other countries in the region. Just look at Nigeria. So, this brings us to the big, unanswered question. Where do they go from here? With this level of deep-seated mistrust, especially around security, is there any real path to peace? Publicly, for the cameras, both sides were saying all the right things. They used this really powerful metaphor, saying their two countries are like two lungs of the same economic and social body. The message they wanted to send was clear. Our people are intertwined, our economies are linked, and we can't let politics break that. But the analysis we're looking at here just doesn't buy it. It ends on a note of serious skepticism.
I mean, can these nice words and handshakes actually mean anything if that core security problem, that massive elephant in the room, isn't dealt with? Because the bottom line is, once trust is completely shattered, it's incredibly hard to piece it back together.
And that's really the final thought we're left with. A diplomatic move has been made, for sure, an important one. But it leaves us with this fundamental question. Can you really rebuild trust on a foundation that's completely broken? When one country accuses another of harboring its mortal enemies, are you actually building peace or are you just building a house of cards?